They told you aging meant slowing down, that you'd lose your energy, your spark, and eventually, your intimacy too. Like it was just part of the deal. But let me tell you something, they were wrong. Dead wrong. Here's the thing. We've been conditioned to believe that once we hit a certain age, the only way to keep our energy and intimacy going is through prescriptions or hormone therapy. And sure, those have their place. But what if I told you that something as simple as fruit, yes, fruit, could help you feel more alive, more connected, and more you again? It might sound too simple to be true, but I've seen it firsthand. These aren't exotic superfoods from across the world. I'm talking about 4 fruits you can find in your local grocery store. These everyday fruits support circulation, help reignite libido, and restore the intimacy that may have quietly faded in the background. Let me share a quick story. An older couple came to me not too long ago. He was frustrated, physically, emotionally. Things had changed, and not in a way he felt proud of. His wife was gentle, supportive, and kind, but they both missed the connection they used to have. The laughs, the touches, the spark. And while neither of them said it out loud, there was this quiet grief between them, a sadness for what they thought they'd lost. They didn't want pills. They didn't want side effects. They just wanted to feel close again. So I suggested something unexpected: cherries. Yep, cherries. They looked at me like I was crazy, but they were open, willing, curious. Fast forward 2 months. They came back smiling, laughing, affectionate. They didn't say much, but the energy between them said everything, and I knew exactly why. See, cherries are packed with a compound called anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation and improve circulation. But more than that, they help increase nitric oxide production, a natural chemical that helps blood vessels relax and open up. That's important, because better circulation doesn't just help your heart and brain. It helps the parts of you responsible for intimacy, arousal, and physical connection. So for men, that means stronger, more reliable erections. And for women, it means improved blood flow to the pelvic region, which leads to greater sensitivity, comfort, and pleasure. And here's the kicker. Cherries also help calm the mind. They're naturally rich in melatonin, which supports deeper, more restful sleep. And when you sleep better, your hormones stabilize, your mood lifts, and your body becomes more responsive, emotionally and physically. These are the building blocks of real intimacy. Not just biological function, but connection, trust, presence, and cherries support that gently, without the side effects or pressure that come with medications. There's no overnight miracle here, just consistent, nourishing change. And sometimes that's even better, because it gives you your rhythm back. It reminds your body what it's capable of. That's the thing about fruit, real fruit. It works with your body, not against it. No spikes, no crashes. Just steady support that brings your system back into harmony. I've watched cherries help people feel alive again, not because they fixed something overnight, but because they opened a door that had slowly closed with time. That's what this whole approach is about. Reawakening, not forcing. What's still there waiting? Now, you're probably wondering, okay, what are the other fruits? How do I start this? How do I actually make it a part of my daily life without turning it into some complicated routine? That's the beauty of this whole thing, because I'm not asking you to overhaul your diet, buy expensive supplements, or count calories. I'm asking you to grab a few simple fruits. Fruits that you may already love. Fruits that your body actually recognizes and responds to. Let's take this step by step. Start with just one of the 4 fruits. Pick the one that sounds easiest or most appealing. Maybe it's a handful of red grapes with lunch. Maybe it's some dried cranberries sprinkled on your salad. Or maybe it's a fresh papaya sliced with breakfast. There's no perfect way to do it. What matters is the consistency. Give your body a simple, daily reminder that you're choosing vitality, choosing closeness, choosing connection. And then watch. Watch what shifts, not in a dramatic, movie-style way, but in the quiet little moments. Warmer hands and feet, more restful sleep, A little more energy during the day. A flicker of that spark when you least expect it. That's the sign that your body's listening. And listen, I know how easy it is to think, well, I'm too old for this, or that ship has sailed. But it hasn't. You're not too late. You're not past your prime. You just need the right support to help your body remember what it already knows how to do. I've seen men in their 70s and even 80s reconnect with their partners in ways they thought were behind them. I've seen women who thought they were done with intimacy discover a new sense of comfort and joy in their bodies. And every time, it starts with the same thing, a decision to try something small, something natural. You don't need to become a health nut. You don't need to change your identity. You just need to support your system in a way that's simple, sustainable, and yes, actually enjoyable. So the next time you're at the store or looking in your fridge, I want you to see it differently. See fruit not just as a snack, but as a tool, a daily choice, a quiet revolution in how you age and how you connect. You've made it this far. That tells me something. You're still curious, still hopeful, still looking for ways to feel stronger, closer, more alive. And I want you to know, that spark you're chasing, it's not gone. It's just waiting. And these 4 fruits are one way to help bring it back. Stay with me, because next, we're diving into the second fruit on this list. And trust me, it's not just good for your circulation. It's a game changer for your kidneys, your comfort, and yes, your confidence in the bedroom. All right, let's talk about the second fruit. This one doesn't get nearly enough credit. But once you understand what it does inside your body, you're going to want to make it a daily habit. I'm talking about watermelon. Yeah, you heard that right. Sweet, juicy, refreshing watermelon. Not some rare Amazonian berry or overpriced supplement. Just watermelon. You see, watermelon contains a powerful amino acid called citrulline. And citrulline is a bit of a behind-the-scenes hero. It helps your body produce more nitric oxide, just like we talked about with cherries. That means more relaxed blood vessels, better blood flow, and smoother function where it really counts. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Citrulline is actually used in some of the newer, high-end natural support products for male enhancement. And guess what? Watermelon gives it to you naturally, without fillers, without synthetic additives, and without a prescription. Now, let me break this down in real terms. Think of nitric oxide like the body's natural way of saying, hey, let's get things moving. It signals your blood vessels to widen and allows blood to flow more freely. That affects your heart, your muscles, and yes, your most intimate areas. When blood flow improves, so does responsiveness, sensation, and performance. So if you've noticed things feeling a bit slower, or maybe not as dependable as they used to be, watermelon could be one of the simplest, sweetest tools to help turn that around. Here's the thing most people miss, though. It's not just about getting better blood flow. It's about keeping it healthy as you age. And that's what watermelon does so well. It doesn't spike your system. It gently supports it. One of my clients, a 68-year-old man who'd been married for over 40 years, came to me after he started feeling less confident in the bedroom. He was hesitant, kind of embarrassed, but I could tell right away. He still wanted that connection with his wife. That part of his life still mattered to him, deeply. We started small. I told him to eat a cup of fresh watermelon a day, not in a complicated smoothie or as some big lifestyle change. Just a simple bowl, something he could enjoy. After about 3 weeks, he called me. Doc, he said, I don't know what's going on, but my mornings feel different. That different was better blood flow, more energy, less tension around intimacy. It was subtle at first, but it built over time. Now he's not only feeling more confident, but his wife told me they're laughing more, hugging more, even flirting again. That's what this is really about. Because intimacy doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts way before that. It starts in how you feel in your body, how you feel about yourself, and how present you are in your relationship. And fruits like watermelon can support that journey from the inside out. Now, a quick tip here. If you're eating watermelon, Try to eat it fresh and on an empty stomach. It digests quickly and cleanly that way. You don't need to overthink it. Just keep it simple. Oh, and don't throw away the white part near the rind. That's actually where most of the citrulline lives. You can chop it up and blend it into a smoothie, or just eat it with the red flesh. Your body will thank you for it. So, we've got cherries helping calm the system and boost nitric oxide, watermelon giving you that steady, vascular support. Let's move to the third fruit, because this one, it's all about hydration and detox. Two things that become more important with every passing year. I'm talking about cucumbers. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Cucumbers aren't fruit. But technically they are. They grow from the flower of the plant and have seeds inside. So in botanical terms, they're fruit. And more importantly, they're powerful. Cucumbers are about 96% water, which makes them one of the most hydrating foods on the planet. And hydration is key for everything: energy, digestion, joint health, and yes, sexual function. When your body is dehydrated, it's like running a machine without oil. Everything starts to slow down. Blood becomes thicker, your heart has to work harder, and your muscles, including the ones involved in intimacy, don't perform as well. I've seen so many men walk into my office thinking they needed testosterone or some complex supplement stack, when really, they just needed more water-rich foods. And cucumbers go beyond hydration. They're packed with silica, a mineral that supports connective tissue, skin elasticity, and even arterial flexibility. That matters when you're trying to maintain strong, consistent blood flow as you age. Plus, they're natural detoxifiers. See, the modern world throws a lot at our bodies: stress, pollution, processed foods. And all of that builds up. Toxins slow us down, clog up our systems, and make us feel older than we really are. Cucumbers help flush that out. Gently. They're like nature's broom for your kidneys and liver. And when your internal systems are clean and supported, your energy, clarity, and mood all go up. I had a couple, both in their 70s, who added cucumbers to their daily meals. Nothing dramatic, just sliced into water or added to their lunch. A month later, the wife told me, "We feel younger." Not because of some miracle change, but because they were finally giving their bodies what they needed to function the way they were designed to. That's the secret most people miss. Intimacy isn't something you chase, it's something you create. It's a result of how you treat your body, your mind, your relationship. And these fruits, they're tools, gentle nudges, daily choices that slowly rebuild the foundation that intimacy stands on. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start somewhere. A few slices of cucumber, a handful of cherries, a cup of watermelon. No pressure, no performance expectations, just intention. You'd be amazed at what shifts when you give your body the right signal. When you say, "Hey, I still care. I'm still in this. I'm still choosing life." And that brings us to the fourth and final fruit on our list. The one that ties everything together. It's sweet, powerful, and deeply restorative. It's not just good for your body. It's a mood booster, an immune support, and a quiet reset button. Stay with me, because this last one, it might just be your favorite. All right, let's talk about the final fruit. The one that kind of sneaks under the radar. But once you bring it into your life consistently, you'll feel the difference, physically, mentally, emotionally. It's blueberries. Yep, these little guys are like nature's multivitamin. Tiny, tasty, and totally packed with benefits. And I don't say that lightly, because when it comes to long-term vitality, especially for men over 50, blueberries are a game changer. Let me tell you why. First off, blueberries are rich in something called anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants, kind of like little repairmen inside your body. They go around neutralizing free radicals, which are unstable molecules that cause aging and inflammation. Now, I know antioxidant is one of those words we hear all the time, but let me break it down like this. Imagine you've got rust building up on the inside of a pipe. Over time, that rust starts to weaken the structure. Maybe it starts leaking, Maybe it slows the flow of water. Maybe it even bursts. That's what inflammation and oxidative stress do inside your blood vessels and organs. They wear you down over time. Blueberries help scrub that rust away. They reduce inflammation, repair cell damage, and protect your brain, your heart, and yes, your performance. In fact, multiple studies have shown that men who eat more blueberries and other deeply colored fruits experience better cardiovascular health, sharper mental focus, and even improved stamina. But that's not all. Blueberries also help regulate blood sugar and support insulin sensitivity, which becomes more and more important as we age. Why does that matter? Because blood sugar spikes and crashes can absolutely tank your energy, your mood, and your libido. Stable blood sugar equals stable energy and hormones. Simple as that. And here's something most people don't know. Blueberries also support dopamine production. That's your motivation and pleasure chemical. When your dopamine is low, everything feels like a chore. You don't want to work out, you don't want to connect, and you definitely don't feel like being romantic. But with the right nutrition, you can feed your brain what it needs to make more dopamine naturally. That's what blueberries do. I had a client in his early 60s. He was a former executive, super sharp guy. But he told me he'd been feeling foggy and unmotivated. He wasn't depressed per se, just off. I asked about his diet. It was mostly beige foods, bread, pasta, processed stuff. So I gave him one assignment. Add a cup of blueberries to his breakfast every morning. Could be fresh or frozen. Didn't matter. 2 weeks later, he emailed me. I feel clearer. I'm not snapping at my wife as much. I even started walking again. All from a handful of berries. That's the power of real food. Now, don't get me wrong. None of these fruits are magic bullets. They don't replace movement or communication or self-respect. But they do support your system. They help get your biology working with you again. Because here's the thing. As men age, we often get told that decline is inevitable, that we should just accept it and fade quietly. But I'm here to say no. You get to feel vibrant. You get to feel strong. You get to feel wanted and awake and in love with your life at any age. And these 4 fruits, cherries, watermelon, cucumbers, and blueberries, can help pave the way. Let's recap real quick. Cherries help calm inflammation, support sleep, and boost nitric oxide for better blood flow. Watermelon gives you citrulline, a natural way to enhance circulation and stamina. Cucumbers hydrate your entire system and gently detoxify, making everything work more smoothly. Blueberries are your anti-aging ally, supporting brain function, stable energy, and emotional balance. None of these are hard to find. None require complicated prep. You don't need to measure macros or take a blood test to start. You just need to start. Now, if you're thinking, okay, this sounds great, but what's the best way to fit these into my daily routine? Let's talk about that. Because success with nutrition isn't just about knowing what's good for you. It's about actually doing it every day in a way that feels easy, enjoyable, and sustainable. So here are a few practical tips. Start your morning with a smoothie. Throw in half a cup of frozen blueberries, a few chunks of watermelon, a little cucumber, and maybe a banana or some oats to make it filling. Boom, right there. You've already covered 3 of the 4. Snack on cherries in the afternoon, especially if you feel that post-lunch crash. Their natural sugars give you a gentle lift, without the spike and crash you get from candy or soda. Add cucumber slices to your water. Keep a pitcher in the fridge. It's refreshing, hydrating, and actually encourages you to drink more. Make fruit part of your connection with your partner. Share a bowl of cherries on the couch. Split a smoothie before a walk. Let food be something that brings you together, not just something that fills your stomach. Because when you shift your habits in this way, your body notices, your brain notices, and so does your partner. Here's the bottom line. Intimacy is not about chasing some fleeting spark. It's about cultivating the soil that spark grows in. That soil is your body, your nervous system, your energy. And these fruits? They're like sunlight and water. Simple, natural, life-giving. You're not broken. You don't need fixing. You just need support. And nature already has your back. So the next time you're at the grocery store, remember this video. Walk past the pharmacy aisle. Skip the late-night infomercial pills. Head straight to the produce section and pick up your power. Your future self and your relationship will thank you for it. Now, before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with something important, because chances are, if you've made it this far, you're someone who actually cares about your life, your relationship, your body, and how you show up in all of it. And that matters more than you realize. Because the truth is, most people don't think about this stuff. They wait until something breaks, until a health scare, until their partner starts to pull away, until they look in the mirror and don't recognize the man staring back at them. But you're here, now, and that means you're already ahead. So let's talk real quick about the mindset that makes this all stick. It's easy to fall into that old trap of thinking, it's too late. Or, I've already let myself go, what's the point? Or, if I didn't get it right in my 30s or 40s, how am I going to start now? And I hear that. I've felt it myself. But let me tell you something. Every day is a clean slate. Every meal, every decision, every breath you take is a chance to reset your direction. You're never too old. You're never too far gone. You're never stuck. In fact, some of the most powerful transformations I've seen have come from men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s. One guy I coached, a retired teacher, was 67 when he started working with me. Overweight, stiff joints, hadn't been intimate with his wife in nearly a year. He was convinced his best days were behind him. We didn't do anything crazy. No boot camps. No fad diets. We started with walking, breathing, adding color to his meals, blueberries, cucumbers, cherries, hydrating. Within 3 months, he lost 15 pounds. His blood pressure dropped, and the sparkle came back in his eyes. His wife told me he was flirting with her again, laughing more, leading again. That's what happens when a man reconnects with himself, with his body, with his breath, with real food. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. You just have to build momentum in the right direction. And that starts with the smallest shift. Because here's the truth most people miss. Your body is listening. Always. When you choose water instead of soda, it listens. When you stretch instead of slumping on the couch, it listens. When you eat something grown in sunlight instead of made in a lab, it listens. And it responds. So don't underestimate the power of simple changes. Don't buy into the lie that more pills, more gadgets, or more supplements are the only answer. Your biology was built for this. All we have to do is get out of the way and give it what it needs. I want you to think of your body like an old car that used to run like a dream. Over the years, maybe it's been neglected. Bad fuel, low oil, worn out parts. But under all that, the engine still works. It just needs a little care, a little attention, the right fuel. And once you give it that, man, you'll be surprised how fast it roars back to life. Now, if you're wondering where to go from here, I'll make it simple. Grab some cherries and blueberries the next time you shop. Start your morning with a glass of water and a few cucumber slices. Cut up a little watermelon after dinner instead of reaching for dessert. Most of all, be consistent. Not perfect, just consistent. Because when you stack these tiny wins day after day, they turn into something massive. They turn into you, stronger, clearer, more connected. Not just with your partner, but with yourself. And that's the key. Because intimacy isn't just about sex or romance. It's about being present, feeling confident in your body, trusting yourself, being able to give and receive love fully. That's the deeper goal here. So if this video spoke to you, do me a favor. Don't just watch it and move on. Take one idea, just one, and put it into action today. Drop a comment and let me know what that one thing is for you. Because real change starts in community. When we support each other, when we share stories, when we show up, it's contagious. You deserve to feel vibrant again, You deserve to be the man your partner fell in love with, and maybe even more so now, with all the wisdom and life experience you've gained. Don't settle for decline. Choose vitality. Choose connection. Choose to show up for yourself and for the people who love you. All right, that's it for today. If you found this helpful, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more grounded, real-life health insights like this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.